Good day, everyone. So today we are going to be talking about Chapter 1, the problem and its setting, and also the whole event. Except, of course, the background of the study, because this background of the study was already discussed in our previous video. But this example, or research proposal example of Chapter 1, is from Neri et al. And this study is about self-regulated learning and mathematics performance of the student. Or let's say if you're a student and you were studying self-regulated learning and you're studying your classmates, so let's say self-regulated learning and mathematics performance of your classmates. So let's have a little bit of tour. Okay, so this is the background of the study. We have the statement of the problem, the hypothesis, review of related literature, which is divided into the main topics, which we will be talking about later. And yeah, there's a lot of it. Yeah, another main topic, the theoretical conceptual framework, which is actually a very first topic to be discussed. And yeah, we have the conceptual paradigm, the significance of this study, and the definition of terms. So this is the whole of chapter 1. So let's start talking about the first, of course, where is that? Theoretical and conceptual framework. Now, theoretical and conceptual framework is the background of your study. It is somehow the basis, the foundation, and the backbone of your study. Without this, you will not have the guide. So, especially that theoretical framework is a collection of interrelated concepts, like a theory, but not necessarily so well worked out. A theoretical framework guides your research, determining what things you will measure, what things or what statistical relationship you are looking for. Okay, so before we go into the technicalities and the formats, let's talk about the theoretical and conceptual framework, and let's draw some things about this one. So first, what you're going to do in theoretical and conceptual framework is that you have to find a concept or a theory that is related to your research or where your research will be anchored or based. Since this study is about self-regulated learning and mathematics performance, well, luckily there is what we call the self-regulated learning theory. So how lucky can you get if you have that kind of title or research topic and then you have that theory, of course. Now, let's go to the paradigm so that we can explain further. Now, you are talking or somehow studying about self-regulated learning and mathematics performance. However, we need to measure this one because remember, this is a quantitative research. This is the independent variable and this is the dependent variable, meaning the difference in here, or any changes in self-regulated learning could affect the mathematics performance. This is the cause and this is the effect. Okay, let's clear that one. Okay, let's go back. You're going to study self-regulated learning and mathematics performance. But before you can study them, you need to measure them. And for you to measure them, you need to look for its indicators. The things or factors that makes it a self-regulated learning and the things that makes it a mathematics performance. Something that you can measure so that you can measure self-regulated learning. What are the things that you can measure to say this is self-regulated learning? Okay, let's go back. But first, let's have an example. Before you can say you love research, you cannot just say I love research and then you really are not. You need to have evidence. You need to have indicators that you are a person who loves research. So if you really loves research, this could be the characteristics or the indicators that you really love research. You like doing research all the time. you conducted, let's say, 300 researches over the past, let's say, 13 years. Okay, those were a lot of numbers of research. What more? You're always open to new topics for you to do a research. You're always presenting research, and you are happy doing research. Those are the things that would indicate that you really love research. So what are the things that would indicate that this is our self-regulated learning? So that those indicators needs to be measured, because this is, of course, remember, this is a quantitative research. So let's remove that. And yes, let's go back to the top. You need to look for any concept or theory. Remember, you already have the theory, but it didn't have the indicators that we need to show self-regulated learning. So you need to find a concept that is directly related to your research topic. And let's say you found Schroe, 1998, and he developed a three-stage model of process of self-regulated learning. And those self-regulated learning include planning, which precedes the learning task. The next is monitoring, which goes on during it, and evaluating, which takes place immediately after it. Now, when you cited Shaw developed a three-stage model process of self-regulated learning, you already have the indicators. You found this RRL, or this concept, which actually has or have the indicators, the planning, the monitoring, and the evaluating. And therefore, go back to your conceptual paradigm. Self-regulated is your independent variable, and it can be measured through planning, monitoring, evaluating. So these are the indicators of self-regulated learning. And of course, these things here should be seen in your source, or the concept that you somehow found. Okay. And another thing is that when you have the theory, in your theoretical and conceptual framework, you need to have the theory and those concepts, which gives the indicators of your topic, your independent variable and the dependent variable, and also some supporting details and concepts. Okay, so let's go back. Here, in the dependent variable, you have the mathematics performance. And how to measure your mathematics performance? Of course, no other than your mathematics grade. Because when you say, okay, how do you measure mathematics performance? And then you don't have the way to measure mathematics performance unless you specifically indicate there that you can measure mathematics performance by looking or getting the mathematics grades, because this is the indicator of mathematics performance. Again, self-regulated learning, indicators, planning, monitoring, and evaluating. While in the mathematics performance, your indicators so that you can measure is the mathematics grades. Okay. There are times when you, let's say, do a research. You can't just only measure self-regulated learning and mathematics performance. So to measure this self-regulated learning, you need to measure planning, monitoring, evaluating, and also to measure mathematics performance, you need to measure mathematics grades. However, you believe that sex or gender plays a role on the effect of self-regulated learning to mathematics performance. Meaning, depending on the sex, or you want to know, this is what you want to do. You want to know if sex has, or gender has the effect of changing the strength of relationship between these two variables. Will self-regulated learning, are the self-regulated learning stronger when we say, let's say, male, or is it stronger when female? Or what about the effect to the mathematics performance of those self-regulated learners or your classmates? Okay, so let's put it out. Let's have the review first on this part. In theoretical framework, you need to have the first is the theory. Let me draw. This is the theory. Yes. And then you also need to have the wait. You need to have the concept which has the indicators for your independent variable so that you can measure your independent variable, and also some of the concepts, supporting concepts for your theory. Okay. Now, let's go to the technicalities and the formats. This is the same as 1 inch. This is 1.5 inches. This is 1 inch. This is the spaces here, 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 or all of it is double space. You have a page number because the whole of chapter 1 has page numbers. This indicates that the theoretical and conceptual framework started at page 11. And the page number is also in Book Antiqua 12. And these are all in Book Antiqua 12. If you can also observe this, the theoretical and conceptual framework is on the left side. This is in the bold form with first letters in capital uppercase format, except the and, in, to, for, words like that. And if you can also observe, this is in justified format, justified. If you want to justify, you can just press Control J. Okay, let's erase those. Clear all drawings. Remember your theoretical and conceptual framework, because your, your theoretical and conceptual framework is reflected on this paradigm, what we call the conceptual paradigm of the study. So based from this, you can already know all the concepts that you included in your theoretical and conceptual framework. It says that you wanted to study self-regulated learning and mathematics performance. And self-regulated learning can be measured through planning, monitoring, and evaluating, or the rate of planning, evaluating, and monitoring. And you can measure the mathematics performance through mathematics grade. In these studies, she specifically looked for the second quarter grade. And also, you wanted to study, you wanted to know if sex or gender has an effect on the relationship between the self-regulated learning and the mathematics performance. This is our basis for the statement of the problem. Okay, let's put that one here and there. Now, this is the same, right? But let's go here and look for your statement of the problem. Your statement of the problem is important because this is where we will find the answers, or somehow you put in here the things that you wanted to know. What data do you want to gather? What things do you want to know? What results do you want to know? What are the expected things that you wanted to know, the knowledge that you wanted to know at the end of this research? So you have to have first your introductory statement. This study aimed to determine, the objective, the main objective, aim to determine the extent of self-regulated learning and mathematics performance of grade 9 students of St. Mary's College of Tagum Incorporated. So what it is that you wanted to look for? Specifically, these sought the answers to the following questions. So that's why it's called the statement of the problem. What are the things that you wanted to know? So those things that you wanted to know should be the answers to this question. First, what is the extent of the self-regulated learning? If you can observe here, he just asked the IV, or the independent variable. So that's it. Number two, what is the level of mathematics performance? Here, the extent of self-regulated learning. Here is the level of mathematics performance. So he also just asked the second variable, which is the dependent variable. Next, is there a significant difference on the extent of self-regulated learning when analyzed according to sex. He connected, or she connected, that one, the independent variable to the moderator variable. So this is 1, this is 2, and the connection between the moderator variable and the independent variable is 3. Okay, next. Is there a significant difference on the level of mathematics performance when analyzed according to sex? So the connection between the moderator variable and the dependent variable is your question number 4. First, he just wanted to know, number 1, okay? Number 1, she just wanted to know the extent of self-regulated learning. Do these students really self-regulate their learning or not? Do you self-study or not? Do you regulate your learning or not? That's the question that he wanted to answer, that she wanted to answer. Second, level of mathematics performance. She just wanted to know the grades of the students because that is the indicators. She just wanted to know the performance of the students in mathematics. Then 3, she wanted to know if there's a difference in the rate or in the extent of self-regulated learning when it is compared or somehow analyzed according to sex. This answers the question, do female students and male students have differences on the extent of self-regulated learning or not? Okay. Also, in mathematics performance, do male and female students have differences when it comes to mathematics performance? So that's number 4. And 5, is there a significant relationship between self-regulated learning and mathematics performance of the students? So the relationship or the connection between self-regulated learning and mathematics is her number 5. So that's how she created the statement of the problem. So you have no other, let's say, for example, if you have other questions regarding this area, you can type in the comment below or maybe ask that during our online class. Okay? But another thing is that you can also actually individually ask questions like, is there a significant relationship or difference between the extent of planning and mathematics performance? You can do that in 6. Or you can also, is there a significant difference between monitoring and mathematics performance or grades? That's number 7. You can also ask, evaluate the extent of evaluation or evaluating to mathematics grades or performance. That's number 8. So you create in a question form that is mostly, is there a significant relationship? Is there a significant difference? Those kind of question. If whatever that you wanted to know in your research, just like saying you compared 2 things. Let's say you wanted to compare which, let's say, color gives you the most comfortable feeling, blue or red. You say, is there a significant difference between red and blue in terms of comfort of feeling, those things? So the answer to that question would be the result of your study. So things like that. Okay, let's remove all the drawings, clear all drawings. Then, yeah, so I know this is not really that comprehensive. Let's go to, yes, that is the statement of the problem. Now, in the hypothesis, as per our format, we have to use the null hypothesis. When we say null hypothesis, whatever is in here, especially those, is there a significant difference? Is there a significant relationship? You are just going to say there is no significant difference, there is no significant difference, or there is no significant relationship. Let's say, for example, is there a significant difference on the level of mathematics performance when analyzed according to sex? So you just answer here, there is no significant difference on the level of mathematics performance when analyzed according to sex. You are thinking, and somehow your hypothesis states that there is no significant difference. This hypothesis that you have will either be accepted or rejected after the conduct of your research or study when you already have the result. And when you have the result, you can say, hypothesis number 3, which states there is no significant relationship between the self-regulated learning and mathematics performance, is rejected because there is a significant relationship between self-regulated learning and mathematics performance. So just that. Okay. Next, the let's say review of related literature. This one, before you put all the related studies, literature, concepts, theories that you found in the internet, which is directly or indirectly related and connected to your research, you have to first group them or categorize them by major topics. And the major topics for humanistic researches and social researches is mostly based on the, of course, no other than your indicators. Here, your indicator is the planning, monitoring, evaluating, and also the mathematics grades. So you will put there self-regulated learning as the main topic with another topics on planning, monitoring, and evaluating. You will also have to put mathematics performance and then put their mathematics grades or such, or any information that is related to those topics. Let's see it here. So first main topic is self-regulated learning because it is the independent variable. And then she divided that, or we will divide that into, let's say, planning, other RRL that is related to planning. We also have monitoring, RRLs that is related to monitoring, but remember, must also be related to your topic or lesson. Okay? And here, evaluating and RRLs that is related to evaluating, and also mathematics performance, which is actually mathematics grade. She didn't include, but you can include this one, give statistics related to mathematics grades and performance and as such. Okay, so those were the part of the chapter 1, but of course we will not somehow forget about significance of the study. Significance of the study, who are those people or individuals or group of individuals that will benefit in your study, and how would they benefit those, how would they benefit from this study? Let's say, for example, student, they will develop self-discipline, engaging self-regulated learning that will help them improve their performance in mathematics. Then also teachers would benefit because they would find it easy to teach students and flow of the discussion that will probably smooth because students can easily grasp the topic. Parents, administrators, and other researchers rather. Now, let's go to the format. Okay, the format is, this is the title, the subtopic, the significance of the study. This should be in bold, first letter, capital letter, or an uppercase study, except of course the the, of, to, for words. And you will have this introductory statement. These are all in double spaces, double spacing, justified. Book Antico 12 still. Then you need to remember who are those individuals or group of individuals that will somehow benefit from your study, and you will arrange them hierarchically or in a hierarchy. Start from the smallest unit to the largest unit. Smallest are the students. Then next are the teachers. Then next are the parents, and then the administrators. So those are the arrangement. Next, one tab or an indentation. Put the name of the individual or the group of individuals here. First letter, capital letter, then a dot, then space, and write the justification on how and why would they benefit from your study. Same as on the next one. Indentation or one tab, a period or dot, space, and then justification or explanation on why and how they would benefit from your study and so on. Okay, just repeat that one. Okay, so next is this. Let's go back to your, yeah, statement of the problems. Same subheading should be bold, first letter should be in capital letter or uppercase. Your introductory statement should be what you aim to do or your objective. And then another tab, specifically this taught the answers to the following questions. Use numerical form or numbers to identify those statement of the problems that you have. And of course, it should be in question form. Next are the hypotheses. The hypothesis, as the subheading, it should be in bold form. And then the there is no or the null hypothesis. You have here the introductory statement also. Then review of related literature. Main variables should be like the subtopics. It should be bold with first letters in bold capital letters. Then you go on, and then if you have the indicators should be bold but not formatted as that like the subheading. Planning, just put planning there, involves, just directly. Do not make it a subheading like this. It's not like that. Okay. And remember, justified. And also remember to always put the sources, citations. This one, there are studies here in 1995. So in our research, 2016 to 2020 only. Okay. So those are the parts. Now, let me give you one trick or on how to get, let's say, for example, if you wanted to find 250 RRLs. So you can have maximum of five authors, studies, or citations in one idea. Let's say, for example, students who are self-regulated learners believe that opportunities on take on challenging tasks, practice their learning, develop a deep understanding of the subject matter, and exert effort will give rise to academic success. And this idea or this research maybe or a study or concept is from Perry et al. 2006. Now, let's say, for example, you wanted to create a 250 citations or RRL, but doesn't mean 250 topics or concepts or ideas, but only 250 authors. So let's say this idea was not only concluded by Perry et al., but also, let's say, for example, you found researches that also states the same conclusion. And you can look for at most or maximum of 5 people. So Perry et al. Is one. Let's say we have Hindap et al. Okay, et al. That's 20, let's say 2020. Oh, no, 2018. And then semicolon. Then another author. Let's say author, comma, year. Okay, and another author, comma, year. That's it. So one author, two authors, three or third author, four or fourth author. You can have another one. Let's have, to the quit or the semicolon. Then we have another author and year. That's it. So in one idea, let's have another. Let's just use this for somehow solution. Yeah, solving. Let's say in one idea you have 5 authors or studies or um, what sources or citations. And then let's say, for example, you have at least 50 ideas in your um, research paper RRL itself. So the 50 ideas with 5 authors each, we'll have 250 authors slash studies slash sources slash citations. Okay, so okay, let's go back. I have to pause the video for a while there. So let's say you have in your group you have 5 people, and then you have 5 topics, and therefore let me use the text, and therefore 1 topic each person, right? Okay, so 1 topic each person. So in 1 topic each person, and in 1 topic, let's say you have 25 ideas. 25 ideas, or yeah, 25 ideas or concepts, or anything that is related information. So in 25 ideas, you have 5 authors each. So 25 times 5, what's the answer? That will be 125 authors or citations or sources or, yeah, that's it, or studies. So 125 is the half of 250 citations, authors, text. So actually that would be why it's not really that hard. What's hard is to look for the idea, the researches, the concepts. But when you say hard in terms of the number of authors to cite, no, because there are studies, a lot of studies in different countries, same topic but different countries, so they are different studies. They only have the same topic. So this is our somehow calculation. So this is a 5-member group type of research, let's say, for example, and you have 5 topics. Let's say your 5 topics in this example, let's say, for example, you assigned 1 person to look for the academic performance, mathematics performance for 1, self-regulated for 1, planning for 1, evaluation for 1, monitoring for 1. So in 1 person, we'll have 1 topic. Each topic will have 25 ideas or concepts or related literature or information, related information. And on the 25 ideas, you have 5 authors, every idea. So 25 times 5 is 125 authors or citations or sources or studies. So 250 RRL is not really a far-fetched dream. Okay, so let's delete that one, clear all my drawings. Okay, so this is the whole of chapter 1. And always remember, chapter 1 will not have the page number. So if we're going to look at it, just 1. But then you have to cover that one up because now page numbering or page numbers are not allowed in chapter 1. So that's it for your whole chapter 1. I will be expecting you to pass your chapter 1, but also I will be expecting you for a lot of questions because I know there are a lot of things I have not discussed. Thank you very much.